there. Central canal of an osteon, right there. That central canal corresponds to here. Okay, let's see. This is called a perforating canal. Here's another perforating canal.
So, like-
Curves up and down.
On the vertical?
Straight up and down. The vertical would be the central or Haversian canal, and the more meandering up and down space would be a perforating or Volkmann's canal. Central canal, perforating canal. Okay, turn that around. You see, in life, they're going to have blood vessels in them. So here's a blood vessel in a central canal, right there. Here's a blood vessel in a perforating canal. There. All right, so all of the beige on this model is compact bone. Everything that's beige in color is compact bone. The gray at this end is spongy bone. So spongy bone is where red marrow is found. Now here they've removed the red marrow, so see all these empty spaces? In life, these spaces will be packed with red bone marrow. Red bone marrow gives rise to all of the blood cells. Red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets all come from red bone marrow. So these spaces would normally contain lots and lots of red marrow. So any bar or ridge separating two marrow spaces, that's a trabecula. That's a trabecula. That's a trabecula. That is. So it means a crossbar. So it's a trabecula is specifically a crossbar of spongy bone. So here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, oops, and so on. But again, the rest of this is compact bone, but we do have some gray on the outside here. This is the periosteum that wraps the bone. So what holds the so this periosteum literally translates as membrane surrounding bone. And what holds this membrane surrounding the bone to the compact bones, to all these pale strands here and along the top, these are called Sharpey's fibers. So the Sharpey's fibers extend from the inside surface of the periosteum into the compact bone. That's what holds the periosteum onto the compact bone. Okay. Compact bone exists in layers called lamellae. Lamellae take three different forms: circumferential, concentric, and interstitial. So the first few layers, the outer layers of the compact bone, are called circumferential lamellae. So these here, these three things are all circumferential. In fact, all of these are circumferential. Look at the surface here. Layer, 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 etc. All these layers here till there. These are the circumferential lamellae. Why? Because if you continue them, they will form the entire circumference of the whole bone. So the outermost layers of the bone, of the compact bone, would be consist of circumferential lamellae. As we go deeper into the compact bone, we find that lamellae form cylinders. So here we have one cylinder of compact bone that's been telescoped out. So this is an osteon. A cylinder of compact bone is an osteon. And an osteon is composed of concentric lamellae. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers to this osteon. It's 8 concentric lamellae form this osteon. Is that a set number? No. You look at the center of the osteon, the central canal. We can see the blood vessel emerging from that central canal, just as we would have it coming out there, coming out here. So the central canal is, as the name implies, in the center of an osteon. So we see concentric lamellae. First layer, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So this is a 6-layer osteon. This is an 8-layer osteon. So the number of concentric lamellae can vary. All right. A little pit between lamellae, that little pocket, little space there between two lamellae, that's called a lacuna. There's another lacuna right there. So these happen to be between concentric lamellae, but you can also have them in between circumferential lamellae. So there's a lacuna between two circumferential lamellae. The third type of lamella, layers of compact bone in between osteons, filling the spaces between osteons. So we have central canal of one osteon, central canal of another, of another. So in between 1, 2, 3, 4 osteons, we've got several layers of compact bone. We have interstitial lamellae filling that space. And between those lamellae, we also have a lacuna there, a lacuna there, and so on. So a little cavity, a little space between lamellae is a lacuna. The grooves, see the grooves, the little grooves there in the surface of the lamella? These little grooves, these grooves here, and really, really obvious here, these grooves here, go this way, go that way, go. Every groove is called a canaliculus, the plural canaliculi. And what's significant about a lacuna and canaliculi, that's where you can expect to find a bone cell, an osteocyte. So every black smudge, you see that little black smudge right there? That whole thing looks like somebody stepped on a little spider or something. That is an osteocyte. So remember, neurons have a cell body and cell processes. Well, an osteocyte also has a cell body and cell processes. So the oval central portion of the osteocyte is its cell body. That's where you'd expect to find its nucleus. The cell body fits in a lacuna. The cell body of an osteocyte fits in a lacuna. And the cell processes that extend off the cell body, they fit into those grooves. So they're actually going into the canaliculi. The cell processes extend into the canaliculi. So that's why there's all these empty spaces mean there are no osteocytes there. We have an osteocyte here. Its cell body would be in that lacuna, and its cell processes would be in the grooves or canaliculi to either side of the lacuna. Let's see, what else can we point to on here? I think that's pretty much it for this model. So we can do a little bit more with that model. This model is a more magnified version, so that if we cover up this part of the model, this is one osteon right there. So we're seeing the surface of one osteon here, central canal out to its sixth concentric lamella. So here we've got one osteon, there's a central canal with blood vessels in it, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 concentric lamellae. This is only a 5-layer osteon. And you'll notice, by the way, the concentric lamellae are labeled with the numeral 5. What that means is that this layer out here with the numeral 5 on it is also a concentric lamella. So it's the outer layer of another osteon over here. So we have here's the outer layer of this osteon. Here's the outer layer of the second osteon over here. And what's separating? What are the layers of compact bone in between these two osteons? They're all labeled with the numeral 6. These would be interstitial lamellae, highly magnified. And we can see lacuna and canaliculi. Lacuna, canaliculi on the surface. Lacuna, canaliculi, the grooves extending. Now here we've got an osteocyte. The red oval, the blue, by the way, would be its nucleus. The red oval would be, containing the nucleus, is the cell body. That's in a lacuna. And then the little red cell processes extending out both sides, they're lying in those grooves. So those what look like little legs, the cell processes of the osteocyte, are in the canaliculi to either side of the lacuna. That's about it for this model. We're done. You might have a numbered label, say right here, with an arrow pointing into that space. Let's say it's label number 17. Okay? So label 17 is pointing into what space? What's your answer in blank number 17 on the answer sheet? What do you write in blank 17 on the answer sheet?
So just
What's the answer? What's the name of that space?
lacuna.
Lacuna. Done. 2 points.